I am who I really am, and more joyous each day. And I feel that even the law of attraction is changing by our continuous desiring for more. It's transforming. It's not disappearing. It's not getting false or old, but it no longer remains as it has been through vibrational differences and frequencies. What do you have to say about that?
Well, we think that you're really onto something. At first, it sounds odd. Law of attraction is getting more. What makes you say that is the longer you live, not just you, but all of you, the more time you spend in this leading edge environment, the more contrast you experience and the more asking you offer. And so the more components law of attraction has to respond to. So the more current is flowing in response to that asking. So what you are feeling is that the stream is moving faster and faster, and that your relationship with the stream is becoming more obvious. We say it a little differently. We say it's like a giant magnifying glass is being laid over everything that is. So the rich are richer, the poor are poorer, the well are weller, the sick are sicker. In other words, everything is more exaggerated because law of attraction is responding to this larger contrasting environment. It is wonderful. It is as you knew it would be. It is the time of awakening, the time when more people than ever before will come into conscious awareness that they are the creator of their own reality, and that they do not need to thwart or hinder or dictate or guide the behavior of any other, just self.
And what do you have to tell me specifically to be an increasingly better teacher of unconditional love and deliberate creator?
Be easy about it. You're doing just fine. You know what to do. Life will bring you the details. Be playful about it. You can't get it wrong. You're not ever going to get it done. It's supposed to be fun. So be easy about it. Don't worry about what others are doing. Focus upon how life is responding to you. Let your emotions be the most important thing to you. Care more about how you feel than everything else put together. Insist on feeling good. Train yourself into the thoughts and words and behavior that do feel good to you. Don't try to guide your behavior by anybody else's standards. It will get you off your track every single time. Listen to what comes forth from within. Understand that the call of source is always calling, and that it will sound to you differently depending upon where you are in relationship to it. Sometimes the call of source sounds like exhilaration. Sometimes it sounds like appreciation. Sometimes it sounds like anger, depending upon where you are. Your only question to ask yourself is, does this thought feel better or worse than this thought? And as you are consciously aware of that and reaching for the downstream better feeling thoughts, you'll always be doing the best that you can do on whatever subject is activated from where you are. You are a powerful creator, and you can feel the power. You can feel the momentum of your current, and sometimes it frightens you a little bit because it's moving so fast. And now you feel, and a lot of people do this, and this is what we want to soothe within you. You feel a stronger commitment or obligation to direct your thoughts. And the way we would translate that is that, and we mean this softly, but we mean it, you're trying too hard. You're trying just a little bit too hard. Be easier about it. Trust that you've already done step one and the source is already doing step two. And your responsibility, what you came forth to do, is to find alignment with what's in your escrow, which means follow your bliss. But sometimes you can't get a whiff of bliss. So follow whatever feels the best that you can find from where you are. And trust that it will turn out good, and it always will.
I'm a parent, but I really am conscious of understanding that this being that was here to work with me and chosen me, we chose each other, how to get less out of that and help my son be in alignment.
Well, you've asked what we consider to be a perfect parenting question, because what you're saying is, I want to find a way to be a catalyst to his awareness of his guidance, because if he's not aware of his guidance, he cannot find his alignment. And it was another way of wisely saying, whether you know it or not, it was very wise, of saying, I want to get out of the way of that. I don't want to supersede his guidance. I don't want to replace his guidance with my idea of what he should do. I want to live as the example of one who understands connection. We heard all of that in your question. Did you hear it all?
Yes. I was just wondering if it was going to come out that way.
It's exactly how it came out. And now we'll amplify it a little more. Words don't teach. It's odd we offer so many. It is only life experience that really gives you knowing. And so imagine your child or anyone having a close-up advantage of being able to see his mother aware of her own guidance and determined to close that gap. And so when you're real, meaning you're not pretending that you feel something that you're not feeling, when you are out there on that raw and ragged edge and you're disconnected, make the point, I feel bad, and I'm blaming it on all kinds of things that it's not about. I'm the only one that can do anything about this. I've got to find a way of feeling better. And so, excuse me, I'm going to go think some thoughts that make me feel better. And as you demonstrate again and again that you're not demanding circumstances to change before you feel better, you're using the power of your focus to feel better, you will give your child the greatest mentoring that you could ever give to anyone, because you're teaching through the clarity of your example your understanding of how this universe works. When you as a parent try to feather their nest, and we know it's hard not to because you so love it when they feel good, you put them to a disadvantage because you can't pre-feather all the nests for them. And when you start it and then you can't keep it up, you begin to resent them because it's enough for you to deal with your own alignment. You can't feather all of their nests, you see. So give us an example and we'll talk about it in specifics.
He had a summer reading assignment that didn't get done.
That was an interesting choice of words. He had an assignment and it didn't get itself done. You're already trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Son, I don't know why your assignment didn't get itself done.
He didn't do the assignment, and I reverted into talking at him. And his first week back home was just before school started. Having been at a meditation retreat and all this other stuff, I had expectations that our first week was going to be good. It didn't.
Being good meaning that everyone in your life would do everything that you needed them to do so that you would feel good?
No, that I would do better. My behaviors would be better.
So you're upset with yourself for reacting in the wrong way?
Yes, but then, as a mother, it's like, why can't you see?
You didn't get your assignment done, did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't get the assignment done. And so I was...
How long have you been working on that assignment?
Since he was born. Which I'm very appreciative of him for, because he brings it to the surface. Still working on it. And I wanted him to understand what he had done wrong. Or
you want what?
I wanted him to understand the consequences of what he had done and, the importance of him getting good grades.
But you see, this is what we were talking about. It's hard, we know. It must be very hard for parents in a world where the teachers are setting these assignments and then they are assigning you to sort of be the overseer, policeman of them. And so when your child fails to complete an assignment, then you think you are being seen as the parent who failed to keep the child from failing to do the assignment. And all of this is that slow dribble, that slow, steady process of teaching their guidance outside of them. Because what it's saying is, son, your teacher is very disappointed with me because I didn't get you to do what you needed to do. And we're all, frankly, very disappointed in you that you didn't do what you needed to do. And you need to train yourself to make us be not disappointed. Your role in life, child of mine, is to not disappoint me and your teachers. Disregard your own guidance system. Never follow the feeling that feels right within you. Only do what we need you to do. And we know there are teachers and parents all over this room, all over this world, that are saying, Abraham, what can you be possibly meaning by that? If I didn't make my child do things, he wouldn't do anything. He would just play and play all day. And we say, we know. He'd just turn downstream. He'd come into vibrational alignment with who he is. He'd get tuned in, tapped in, turned on. He'd be brilliant. He'd be a vibrational match to who he is. He would fulfill his reason for being. He would feel exhilarated. He would have perfect timing. He would have perfect coordination. He would never hurt himself. He would only speak words that are uplifting to others. He would be speaking through the eyes of Source, through the mouth of Source. He would be viewing the world through the eyes of worthiness. He would be a Source energy being in physical body, and he wouldn't need your stupid rules or guidance, you see. But in your not knowing that he is this powerful being, and in your not remembering your own easy access to Source, many of you have opted for all kinds of other things that you're using as your excuse. But you're asking a very leading edge question about a very leading edge child who has come forth. You're all, both of you, teachers to the very core of your being, you see. And so he says, I want to be unconformable. I do not want to be the one who does everything that you all need me to do so that you can feel good. It's your job to feel good. I'm going to do what makes me feel good. And we promise you, this brilliant child who is an extension of Source will find enough in this environment in which he is focused to inspire him to the most delicious of physical experiences. You do not need to worry about it. So, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would take a stand with him and with his guidance system, and we would not make a big deal over any rule that he ever breaks. We would make a big deal over every bit of alignment you see him in. And we would make no big deal out of every moment of misalignment that you see him experiencing. So, talk to us a little bit about him. Is this a child who mopes around, or is this a child full of vim and vigor and energy?
A little of both.
Under what conditions does he mope?
When he doesn't get his way.
Good. Now, the reason we say that is the most natural thing in the world. Think about what we've been saying all day. So, your Source energy, you got that part, yes? And you express part of yourself here into this physical body. You get that? And life causes you to know what you don't want and know what you do want. And the larger part of you becomes it and calls you to it. Can you feel that calling? Can you see how he would want to go to what everything about him has called him to create? And can you feel how uncomfortable it would be to not go? So what you want to convince him of, you got to convince yourself of it first. But what makes him unhappy is not the not having the toy or the not getting to do the thing. What makes him or anybody unhappy is not being who he really is. The reason that your son throws a tantrum when he doesn't get what he wants isn't because he's not getting the thing that he wants, is because he's not feeling like he really is. That's the thing that you want to teach your children. You want to use every excuse you can to help them to understand that you are someone who likes to feel good, and when you don't feel good, you feel horrible. And they will say, yeah, because I have to do the stupid assignment, or because I don't get to go play with so-and-so, or because I have to do this thing I don't want to do. You say, that's not why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You're feeling the way you're feeling because you're not keeping up with you. That's the message that you got to give your children. Because if you're scrambling around trying to make their life perfect so that they can feel good, you're creating a big trap for them and a big trap for yourself that before long you will resent. But if you are showing them in real life terms, you can feel as good as you decide to feel. And of course I want you to feel joyful. But I'm not going to knock myself out to help you feel joyful. I'm going to demonstrate joy. And, these little kids, When you see a child really upset over something that you don't think should upset them, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It means there's something really, really right with them. It means they know with every fiber of their being that they're supposed to feel like this. And when they feel like this, they can't bear it because they know they're supposed to feel like this.